God's trying to tell us that there's some things that we can really do if we just see a God-sized thing here.
God worked. I firmly am convinced of that. And I think I'm convinced of that because I'm reminded through this experience in God that God does work.
Yes, just change the perspective of maybe it's not what I want, and it's definitely not something that is comfortable for me. Mm-hmm. But maybe it is what God wants.
Thanks for checking in on our Connection Group page. Hi, I'm Wayne Holt, the Connection Groups minister with the Antioch Church. Connection Groups are simply small groups of approximately 12 adults meeting in homes on a weekly basis. The goal of our Connection Group is just what the name implies, to have a connection with God and to connect on a deeper level with other Christians, leading to a transformed life to be more like Jesus. Our Connection Groups are formed on 12-week semesters in the fall and the spring, with time off during the busy summer months and during the Christmas and New Year's holidays. 10 of the 12 weeks of the semester are for facilitated study and prayer. 1 week is for recreational activity, and 1 week for group community service. Groups are formed based on affinity, common interests, such as cooking or couponing, hiking or painting, for example, or on selected specific studies such as parenting, purpose-driven life, or practical next steps of our sermon series and other selected curriculum. The video that you're about to see are members of several groups having a discussion of how they've been affected through the Experiencing God study. Thank you for watching, and let us know if we can help you get connected.
We've got a blessing jar at our house where we write things on a stone and put them in, but we've got these markers that Kathy and I have had over the years, and we tell these stories over and over again, and we found that everybody in the group has them too, because that was quite a participative session when we started with the markers. We just started going around, and person after person was reminded of things that God did for them, and they attributed it to God and His influence. And it's really easy. We forget things, yes, right? Yes. And it's easy to forget how God's influenced our lives. And I think it's important to hold on to those. And I also think it's important to pass them on to your kids, yeah, and let them know these things happen to mom and dad. These things happen to grandma and grandpa, right, back when we were young. And God did that for us, and God will take care of you too. Those are the kind of things that you know, kind of spreads the faith through the family, from the grandparents to the parents to the to the grandkids, right? Sure. So.
I was working at Bell South. I was working 60+ hours a week. I had a Catholic boyfriend, Russ, who, you know, we were always at odds, and it came a point in time where I was fighting with God for over a year about where I was in my life, and there was a 3-night period where I couldn't sleep. I had a migraine, and I just didn't sleep for 3 nights, and I broke down. And God spoke to me. He said, listen, I've been going to Antioch Church of Christ, of course, but I broke down, and I fell flat on my face, and I said, God, I'm giving up. I'm done fighting. If you want me to stay with my boyfriend, I will, but if not, give me peace with that. And if you want me to stay at Bell South, I'll stop complaining. I'll work 80 hours a week, but give me peace with it. Within 2 hours, my job called and fired me. My boyfriend called and broke up with me. And an hour after that, Thomas called me and asked me out on a date. And I married him. So I think in those situations, of course, I have a lot deeper things that have happened to me that are very intimate, and I love to share with anybody, especially that night, that just really impactful. But of course, that was a huge mile marker for me, because you fight with God, people fight with God, and you'll often lose not even the fight with God. God will sometimes let you win. And that's the most devastating part, because if he would have just let me go on the way I wanted to go, I want to be here, and I want to be this blessed. So I'm thankful he wants me.
Before I started writing, I almost had this misconception to see God working. I was going to see something just short of a miracle.
And it wasn't that I didn't believe it was working. It was just I had this picture of all of us as people working, and we're doing all of our worldly things, and I just never thought of the concept of God working through us and us doing the work that he's called us to do. So as I've started this lesson and gone through it, it's just touched me in a way that now I'm glad that Ronnie asked me to do upward flag football. I didn't want to do it. It wasn't because I was trying to be selfish. It was just I had never been in charge of kids other than my own. So I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to deal with these parents, you know. He asked me 2 or 3 times, and it just worked out. And that was right about the time we started the lesson, and it just hit me. It was like, there we go. There's God working. This is a great thing, and I need to go join this. And ever since then, it's been rolling. I had a great time for Trunk or Treat. They bounced me all around. I did parked cars and things. And you look back, you go, well, you parked cars. But I tried to do everything I could when helping people and really putting on a happy face, asking if they're okay. Because, once again, as I've started this lesson, I realized that these are not tasks or jobs anymore. I don't see that anymore as well. We need you to come out here and park cars. I see it as this is me being involved in something bigger. I'm experiencing, even though I'm on the back lot, I'm experiencing what's going on, because all of these people, as you said, 2,600 people coming through here, and I had a chance to speak to a lot of them. And Coated in Love. I wasn't here the day they gave away the coats, but I tried for about 7 straight hours, working hard to get all the coats down here, because, you know, I just started thinking that there's so many people out there that need things, that need spiritual help, and they need material things. And if I can't drop a little bit of time that I did have the time, if I can't drop that, and if I can't answer the call, the invitation to come work, then, you know, what am I saying here? And that's just what's been such a, like I said, it's been such a blessing with this Experiencing God lesson. It's every day I'm reading something that's making me step back and think and say, you know what, you know, maybe I need to go a different route on this. You know, I'm spending more time reading the Bible. I'm spending more time praying, and I'm being more specific with things. One of the lessons that really struck me was stop worrying about what you want to do and just worry about doing God's will. I think back to all the years of almost trying to bargain with God and say, well, you know, I don't really want to go do that, but how about I go do this, and maybe we can call it even, you know. and And I'm so embarrassed. But the first day I was reading that, I just looked down. I was like, oh, that feels like it's talking to me. And since then, I've you know, and I'm not where maybe I want to be or should be, but I'm aware now that there's, you know, there's a path I need to be on, and that's what I'm trying to do now. As far as the lesson, as far as the connection groups that have come up, man, I hope everybody that isn't a part of a connection group joins one the next time around, because I've been coming to this church off and on for probably 4 or 5 years. And sadly, there's a lot of people here that I do not know, and it's not their fault. I've been the type that just kind of come in, flop down in a pew, sing a few songs, listen to the sermon, and I'm out the door. And over the last roughly 3 months, I have heard other brothers and sisters' testimonies. I have cried with people that I just pretty much met. I've joined them in rejoicing over things over blessings in their life, and that's just a feeling I never had. Yeah. And you know, for me, it's kind of a new thing. So anyone that's never been a part of a connection group or a steady Bible study group, I really hope that they understand that it's a real comfortable thing. You know, there's no pressure, and you get together and you really get to experience what it's all about. You get to develop relationships, and you get to understand that there's more going on in this world than just me and my problems. And there's a role I play, and I'm looking to fill that role and play that role. So that's how I feel about it.
Connection group commercial. You were good. That was good.